I'm Milt Kamen.
I'm Phyllis Newman.
I'm Chester Morris.
I'm Ed McMahon, and the name of the game is Missing Link.
The first half of Missing Links is brought to you today by Bactine, modern first aid antiseptic for cuts, scratches, mosquito bites, and sunburn. Bactine doesn't sting or stain. And now, once again, here's your host, Ed McMahon.
Thank you, Johnny. All right. Thank you very much. We're a little late, folks, so hurry. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Missing Links. We have a very bright, handsome, illustrious panel with us here today.
Well,
you
bless
know them
you.
all. Isn't that good? You look very fine. Milton, have you seen any good movies lately?
Any good movies?
Yes.
No, I haven't. I don't see those kind.
Have you seen
But
any movies?
I'm going to see. I'm going to see a new movie with Joan Crawford because I heard she wears a terrific suit. And I'm going to go.
You want to see that? And Phyllis, pretty soon you'll have to retire, won't you, from the panel work for just,
No, I won't retire till it's actually time to go.
We're going to leave, probably from a show. You'll get the first labor pain and leave right then. And Chester Morris, what is new with you?
Well, I'm doing a new play. We open at the Lyceum Theater here on November 19th.
What's the name?
Very
So it's called The Tender Heel, and I have high hopes for it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Chester. In a moment, we're going to introduce you to someone who has a very interesting story. Now, he'll tell his story in sections, occasionally leaving out a word. Now, it'll be your job, panel, to fill in the missing word or to supply the missing link. Now, the story's been condensed and edited by us for purposes of the game, but every missing link that we're looking for will be a word that our guest actually used in telling his story. So, okay, let's meet our first player.
Right, Ed, we'd like you to meet Mr. Herbert J. Cutting from Flushing, Long Island.
Herbert J. Cutting. I'm sure you know our panel over there.
Hi.
Herbert Cutting is manager of station relations for the Mutual Broadcasting System here in New York. And his hobby or interest in scuba or underwater diving is a hobby with a purpose. The purpose being to explore sunken treasures, shipwrecks in the oceans. Now, his story today concerns one of those expeditions and a kind of moment of disappointment. Now, we'll see if the panel can supply the missing links in that story in just a moment. You know, you feel better, and you look better, too, as our friend here will show you. You just watch.
Sam, slap a little more paste up there, will you?
Sam, what's the matter, anyhow? Don't you like the advertising business? Put a little feel in, a little oomph in it. You old dog, you were out howling last night, weren't you? No? But you look all dragged out. Feel that way, too? Just one of those days, eh? You ought to do like this guy. I do. Take Alka-Seltzer. Gives you that feel-better feeling. Great if your stomach's acting up, or your head. Before hitting the sack, it's great, too. Helps you wake up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Alka-Seltzer for that feel-better feeling. Well, that does it. Did you bring your paste? Okay, we'll shove off. Sam, you ought to practice what you paste. Yuck, yuck.
Kerplunk goes the tablet that gives the fizz. Get the feel-better feeling that Alka-Seltzer gives.
Talking with Herb Cutting, who we hope will be able to stump our panel in a moment. Can I have the cards that contain your story, Herb? Now, as you begin each part of your story, those 6 lights in front of our panel will all be showing pluses. There they are. Whenever a member of the panel makes a wrong guess, one of those lights will change to a minus sign, as indicated. All right, panel, remember now that Mr. Cutting is interested in scuba, underwater explorations, and so on. So let's begin with the first part of your story.
Thank you, Ed. The USS San Diego was one of the proudest ships of the American fleet during World War I. She was the Admiral's flagship, and on her way to the European theater, she was torpedoed by a German U-boat. She was caught off guard because the German periscope had been cleverly housed in a floating blank.
All right, the Admiral's flagship, torpedoed, caught off guard because the German periscope had been cleverly housed in a floating blank. Milt, a floating what? We're looking for the missing link.
Buoy.
A floating buoy is wrong for a minus. I'm sorry. Phyllis?
That's what I was going to say.
Boy. No.
A floating,
Girl? No.
no, debris.
Floating debris. No, that's wrong for a minus. Chester?
A buoy.
I'd say box.
Floating box is also wrong for a minus. All right, now, panel, we've been through once. We're going to go back again. This time, I'm going to give you the first letter of the missing link. Let me first repeat the last part of the sentence.
Go ahead.
She was caught off guard because the German periscope had been cleverly housed in a floating blank. And the missing link begins with the letter B. Milt?
In a floating brasserie.
A floating brasserie.
You never heard of that? That may be the right answer.
It's a wonderful answer, but it's a minus.
All right. We don't know what the word means. Maybe that's it.
Phyllis?
A floating bee. That's a floating bulldozer.
Floating bulldozer. You got one to float, you got yourself something special there. That's a minus. I'm sorry, Phyllis.
Floating.
Chester?
I would say boat.
A floating boat. No, that's also a minus. You'll be mad when you hear this. Tell us what it is, Herb.
It's a barrel.
A floating barrel.
Well, I was close.
Barrel, a barrel.
Well, is a
All right.
barrel.
Now, actually, the card you're reading from is a ballot. And before we started the game, before you come in, we asked you to indicate whether you would like $10 apiece for pluses or $10 apiece for minuses. Now, I hope in this case, since there are 6 minuses, that you've selected minuses. Did you?
Well, he kind of looks that way.
He did. He didn't think you'd get it. All right. 6 of them, $10 apiece, a total of $60. And let's hear part 2 of your story about the floating barrel.
It's a good story.
As a director of the Oceanographic Historical Research Society, I was anxious to determine the condition of the wreck. About 4 years ago, I made a preliminary dive and located 502 feet of battleship completely intact. We found the hole where the torpedo hit, but at that point we determined it was unsafe because there was too much blank, blank.
We found the hole where the torpedo had hit, but at that point, we determined it was unsafe because there was too much blank, blank. Milt?
Salt water.
Salt water is wrong for a minus. Phyllis?
There was too much salt water.
That's just incidental. Go ahead, Phyllis.
You went in, you couldn't go in the hole, is that right? 'Cause
Well,
there's
unsafe
too
because
much-
there was too much blank, blank.
Too much loose change. I don't know, loose chains.
Loose change, that's a minus. I'm sorry, Chester.
Unexploded ammunition.
That's also a minus. All right, we'll go back again. This time, let me give you the missing letters of the missing links. It was unsafe because there was too much blank, blank, beginning with the letters J and M. Milt?
Too much jagged, miscellaneous thing. Jagged something.
I'm going to have to give you a minus, and I'm sorry because you have part of it. Jagged something, and the second word, of course, begins with the letter M. Phyllis?
Oh, jagged metal?
That's it. Very good. Jagged metal. Very good, Phyllis. 4 minuses, 2 plus. Ferb, how did you vote?
Well, I had a minus.
A minus. $10 apiece, another $40, a total of $100. Let's hear part 3 of your story.
Phyllis says it's a hot story.
Well, it's an interesting story, so pay attention and
Yeah.
listen. All right.
After several more underwater surveys, we made contact with the Navy and the Smithsonian Institution, which were very cooperative and gave us complete blank of the ship.
They talked to the Navy, the Smithsonian Institution. They were very cooperative and gave us complete blank of the ship. Chester?
Charge.
That's a wrong for a minus. Milt?
Complete run.
That's wrong for a minus. Who would want to run down on the ship at 502 feet below the water?
That's why they gave it to them.
Oh, I see. All right.
Complete rights of the
That's
ship.
wrong for a minus. I'm sorry. The missing link begins with the letter B. Complete blank of the ship beginning with the letter B. Chester?
Beaching.
Beaching, no, that's a minus. Milt?
A complete bulge of the ship.
Complete balls of the ship is a minus. Go ahead, Phyllis.
A complete breakdown.
Breakdown is wrong for a minus. Tell them what the Navy gave you.
What? They gave us the blueprints.
The blueprint.
Oh.
Now it's so easy.
Take me back to the barrel.
We have we have 6 minuses. How did you vote on this one?
I voted like the panel.
Oh, he didn't think he thought you were going to get that one rather. I'm sorry, we can award you no extra money, but you'll earn some more money in a moment. We want to get back and hear your story. But you know, when the pace of modern living creates nervous tension, well, here's how to help yourself feel real calm.
Working in the city, where nervous tension sometimes gets the best of you. Time to reach for Miles Nervine, formulated to help ease that feeling of nervous tension, to help you feel calm. Just drop 1 or 2 fast-acting Nervine tablets into water and watch them dissolve into fast, effervescent help for nervous tension. Take as directed. Avoid excessive use. Also in liquid form and handy new capsules, Miles Nervine.
Get anything?
Yeah. This and this sunburn.
Looks angry. Let me fix it.
Just let it be. It's too tender to touch.
Not too tender for Bactine. It's got the light touch for sunburn.
A cool touch.
Get Bactine, the antiseptic with the light, cool touch for sunburn.
Your pet.
Our guest is Herbert Cutting, who is trying to stump our panel of experts with the missing links to a story about a sunken World War I battleship. Would you tell us part 4 of your story, Herb?
All right. We had many lengthy meetings and made a number of dives with all our equipment to learn exactly how to penetrate the interior of the ship. After each dive, we would very carefully catalog the information. The Navy and the Smithsonian requested that we attempt to recover the Admiral's blank for display at the institution.
All right, the Navy and the Smithsonian requested that we attempt to recover the Admiral's blank for display at the institution. We want that blank. Chester?
Log.
Log is wrong. I'm sorry, for a minus. Mel?
Admiral's hat.
Hat is wrong, for a minus. Phyllis?
Admiral's, orders.
Orders wrong, for a minus. I'm sorry. We're going back again through the panel. This time, let me tell you that the missing link begins with the letter S. To recover the Admiral's blank for display at the institution, and the word begins with the letter S. Chester?
Admiral's. No, I pass.
All right, I'm sorry. Your time is up for an automatic minus. Milt?
The Admiral's shirts.
The Admiral's shirts.
No.
No, you sent them out to the laundry just before the sinking. No, I'm sorry. That's a minus. Milt? Phyllis?
Yeah, I know.
Admiral's scenic.
Oh, I thought you had it. I'm sorry.
Scenery.
Scenery. No, that's from an
Scene
old...
something.
It's an old play. No, I'm sorry. That's a minus, Phyllis. I'm awfully sorry. Tell them what they were trying to recover.
Actually, it was the Admiral's silver.
The Admiral's silver.
His silver?
His silver.
I didn't know Admirals had silver on.
Certainly. Oh, certainly.
They should have got his shirts while they got the silver.
All right, we have 6 minuses. How did you vote, Herb?
I think pretty good.
Voted minus at $10 apiece, $660 for a total of $160.
This is
And let's hear part 5. It gets easier as we go along, Chester.
The Admiral's silver.
Remember him, Admiral Silver, Long John? Yeah, all right.
Go ahead. 2 years of work went into the final plans to retrieve the silver from the Admiral's cabin. Elaborate preparations were made to ensure complete safety of the operation. The ship was lying 100 feet below the surface, so one of the most important procedures was proper placement of the blank equipment.
All right, one of the most important procedures was proper placement of the blank equipment. Chester?
Salvage.
Salvage equipment, I'm sorry, is wrong. For a minus, a good answer, but wrong in this case.
I thought it was very
No,
good.
Very good answer, Chester.
I would think one of the most important things is the breathing equipment.
Breathing equipment is vital, but it's a minus.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Phyllis?
diving equipment.
Diving equipment is wrong for a minus. All right, the missing link begins with the letter L. Let me repeat that sentence for you.
Go ahead.
The ship was lying 100 feet below the surface, so one of the most important procedure was proper placement of the blank equipment beginning with the letter L. Chester? $100 below the surface. What'd you say?
Lung.
The what?
Lung.
Lung equipment. No, I'm sorry. That's a minus. I thought you were saying glug, glug, like you were sinking down. Milk.
You are thinking.
And one important thing was the placement of the Lowry equipment.
The Lowry equipment.
I don't know what that
From
word
an old
means.
steakhouse. No, I'm sorry. That's a minus. Phyllis?
Well, the proper placement of the lowering equipment.
No, I'm sorry. That's a minus.
Even with the gesture.
I thought you'd get this. What is it? Tell them.
It's the lighting.
The lighting equipment, 100 feet below the surface. They had to see what they were doing. So what is your vote? You have 6 minuses. You see, he thought you were going to get it right off.
This is a lot of trouble to get some spoons.
Let me get the score before we take the lights out. You had 6 minuses, so you don't have anything added. You have $160, and we're coming up now to the last part of your story. Now,
Thinking quickly.
this time, panel, you're only going to have 1 try apiece. But to start off, I will give you the first letter of the missing link. And also, Mr. Cutting, since this is the final item, you'll receive $25 for each plus or minus that you get. All right, here's the last part. Pay close attention, panel.
On that last dive, I got into the Admiral's stateroom, but I was greatly disappointed to find that the silver was covered with 6 feet of sand and impossible to remove. I intend to try again next year. At that time, we'll dredge out the sand and try to recover the blank which contains the Admiral's silver.
At that time, we'll dredge out the sand and try to recover the blank which contains the Admiral's silver. Remember, panel, you get 1 try this time, and the word begins with the letter L.
Again?
Milt. What? It's your turn.
Gee. It's contained in an L, huh?
Yes.
Try to get the list, the larger, the lingerie, I don't know it.
All right, time is up for an automatic minus. Phyllis, now you've got panel. Don't let me down.
It's an L that contains the silver. It's an L.
Recover the blank which
And
contains
then the
silver.
L in the laundry bag.
A laundry bag. Don't tell me that you keep your silver in a laundry bag.
Always. It's an old custom.
All right, well, that's a minus. At C, we never do that. Chester, now you're...
I would say locker.
You're right.
Oh.
Malacca. All right, we have 1 plus, 2 minus.
Terrible.
How did you vote on that last one, Herb?
I had a plus.
You voted plus, $25 for the 1, bringing you to a grand total of $185. Well, Herb's going back next year to dig out all that sand and bring up the silver. And maybe when they find out, it may wind up in a laundry bag after all. Herb, thank you very much for being on Missing Links. You have $185. It's nice to have you on our show. Thank you. Now, we'll meet our next guest in just a moment. But first, it's time out for a neighborhood view that ought to look familiar to you.
Do you have a family?
Yes, I do. I have 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys.
That's quite a family. Do you do like most mothers? Do you get them all fixed up bright and clean for school and then send them away?
I send them away bright and clean, but they just don't come back quite the same way.
The boys get dirty?
Well, they sure do, because they're both in the Little League, you see. My oldest son is the pitcher on his team. He has a trophy to prove it, you know. And he comes home, and his uniform is a mess from head to toe. You can't even see his number at the end of the day.
Tell me, what do you do to solve these problems?
Oh, I solve it with Fab.
You use Fab?
Oh, do I use Fab? I couldn't be without it. Fab is very strong, and that seems to be the reason everything comes out so nice and clean, and I don't have to bleach the life out of everything, so it's been a very happy arrangement.
Yes, Fab has extra strength, because Fab has more than a detergent. Fab adds 5 extra launderatives to get your toughest wash clean clear through. Get Fab today.
The second half of Missing Links is brought to you by Fritos, the corn chips made to munch, a product of Frito-Lay, makers of America's finest snack foods. We're playing Missing Links with Milt Kamen, Phyllis Newman, and Chester Morris, and we'll be back in just a moment. But first, here's a story about clock watchers, hungry clock watchers.
Hooray! Over at my house, we got a special treat. Are you going to have a party? Is it something good to eat? Well, they're delicious and nutritious. Make you want to munch and munch. Golden Fritos corn chips. Boy, I can eat a bunch.
They're America's favorite corn chips. Fritos, golden chips of corn just made to munch. Delicious at parties, plain or with dips. Nutritious at lunch with soup or sandwiches. Fritos corn chips have such good crisp flavors, such good-for-you nourishment. There's contentment in every munch. Get Fritos today, the golden corn chips made to munch.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Welcome back to Missing Links. And Johnny, may we meet our next guest, please?
Right, Ed. We'd like you to meet Mrs. Joan Lakai from New York City.
Get in as close as you can, Joan. You know our panel, I'm sure, Joan. It's very attractive. Well, they didn't do too well on the first guess, so you may be able to stump them quite well. Joan is a partner in the public relations firm of Rich and Lakai, and her much-traveled background includes a bicycle trip through Scandinavia, apprenticeship served with a Mexican jeweler, and 4 adventurous years in Africa as a photojournalist. So, may I have the cards that contain your story? You know about our scoring system, so we can start immediately with part number 1.
When my husband and I first arrived in Africa, we took an apartment in Johannesburg. Our houseboy knew that we were interested in native life, and he would take us on trips into the bush and into the native quarter of the town to see blank ceremonies.
Took them into the native quarter of the town to see blank ceremonies. Milt.
Native ceremonies.
Native ceremonies. That's wrong from
Wrong?
minus. Yes. Phyllis.
Colorful ceremonies.
Colorful ceremonies is wrong for minus. Chester?
I'd say voodoo.
Voodoo is wrong for a minus. Now, all of you are very close. You're all on the right track. Let me tell you that the missing link begins with the letter F. To the native quarter of town to see blank ceremonies beginning with the letter F. Milton?
Frank ceremonies.
Frank ceremonies, no. That's a minus. Phyllis?
Fire ceremonies.
Fire ceremonies is a minus. I'm sorry, Chester.
Frenetic ceremonies.
Frenetic is wrong for minus, I'm sorry. Tell them the kind of ceremonies you were witnessing.
Forbidden.
Forbidden ceremonies. A note of mystery. Now, you were required, of course, as a ballot. There are 6 minuses. How did you vote? You voted minus. 6 of them, 10 apiece, for $60.
Thank you so much.
You have so far. Here's part 2 of your story, Joan.
The 30 story. Okay.
Forbidden ceremonies.
On a trip to the northern Transvaal, we visited a famous rain queen who holds great powers. She lives in a hut in the bush, surrounded by tall poles topped with carved heads, which are supposed to ward off evil spirits. I asked her if I could take one of the poles home, and she replied she would be pleased to send one to America if I would give it to the only famous American she ever heard of, blank, blank.
If she would give it to the only famous American she'd ever heard of, blank, blank. Milt.
Yeah, we call a lot of Americans that. Franklin Roosevelt.
That's wrong for minus. Phyllis?
President Kennedy.
That's wrong for a minus. Chester?
I'd say Teddy Roosevelt.
That's wrong for a minus. I have to give you the initials. This will help you a great deal. The initials of this famous American are A and L. Milt?
A and L? Well, don't whisper it. I can't hear it. A and L. It's not Louis Armstrong. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
A-L. Alice Lomax.
One of our more famous Americans. Well, that's a minus. Go ahead, Phyllis. Alice Lomax.
I couldn't think
That's
of it.
who I would have
That's your
said,
date
too.
last night? Go ahead.
A-L, a famous American.
Famous American, A-L. Well, you'll hate yourselves.
A-L. Auntie Louise.
Auntie Louise. I'm sorry for a minus. Don't help them now, audience. Let them struggle.
A-L.
Chester.
Adlai Levinson.
That's a minus. I'm sorry. Oh.
That's good.
Tell them. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh. Wait a minute. How old was this witch doctor?
That's the only American she knew.
Her New York Times was very late in the bush. All right, we have 6 minuses. How did you vote?
Oh, you disappointed me.
Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. We stay at $60. Here's part 3 of your story, Joan.
We went from South Africa to East Africa, where we decided to make a film about dhows. They are beautifully carved sailing boats similar to Chinese junks. They sail down the coast from India to East Africa every year during the blank.
They sail down the coast from India to East Africa every year during the blank. Milt?
During the summer.
During the summer is wrong for a minus. Phyllis?
During the monsoon.
You're right, Phyllis. During the blank. All right. 5 pluses and a minus. How did you vote, Joan? A minus for $10 for a total of $70. We'll be back to continue this story in a moment. But right now, let's see what happens when Father decides that he's the one who's going to cook supper.
If that isn't typical, here's Father cooking outdoors. Really working hard, isn't he? Hope there'll be some Fritos left for the rest of the family by the time those hamburgers are cooked. Well, I guess a wise wife knows her husband and her Fritos. Fritos are golden chips of corn, just made to munch with outdoor meals. While you're waiting, when you're eating. Their lightly toasted, lightly roasted flavor is irresistible. The fact is, no other chip has the same crisp, satisfying munchiness. Whenever you eat outdoors, it's more fun when you
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos, corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Our guest is Joan Lakai, and she's trying to stump our panel and doing a good job with it, with the missing links to a story about her travels in Africa. Let's continue right on with your story, Joan. Here's part 4.
We sailed to Zanzibar, where we were entertained by the Sultan. Then we went on to Kenya, arriving during the Mau Mau uprising. The local commander showed us through Mau Mau country in a blank.
The local commander showed us through Mau Mau country in a blank. Chester? Jeep. Jeep is not right. That's a minus. No?
Showed you through the Mau Mau country in a mouse. In a car.
In a car is wrong for a minus. Phyllis?
In an elephant? No, you know, they travel on top of an elephant.
Well, not in an elephant.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I have to give you a minus on that. In an elephant. All right. The word we're looking for begins with T. Let me repeat it. They showed us through the Mau Mau country in a blank, beginning with the word T. Chester?
A truck.
Truck is close, but that's not it. That's a minus. Go ahead.
Not a truck. A tree trunk. A truck. Not a truck. A titter. What runs and has a tittertum? Oh, God,
Wait a minute.
It's not
you
a
finished.
It's not a
Are you
tittertum.
completely finished?
Yes.
You have a minus.
I'm wrong.
Phyllis?
In a tractor.
No, I'm sorry. That's a minus.
Oh, I gave up.
In a tank. It's Mau Mau time. You don't go through Mau Mau on a bicycle, you know. All right, we have 6 minuses. What did you vote? We voted minus, 6 of them at 10 apiece for $60, a total of $130. And here's part 5 of your story, Joan. Now, pay attention, panel. Listen carefully.
There was so much fear of the Mau Mau's in Roby that when I bought a cocktail dress there, they came with a matching piece of fabric designed to cover my blank.
Now, let me repeat that. I think you'd like to hear it again. I bought a cocktail dress there, and when they came with a matching piece of fabric designed to cover my blank. Chester?
Shoulders.
Shoulders is wrong for a minus. Mill?
To cover my gun.
All right, I'm going to give you that. Actually, it's holster, but that's so close. You know, such a good guess. I'm going to give you that.
Good boy, Milton. What a shot.
All right, you have 5 pluses and 1 minus. Joan, how did you vote? You voted minus. You didn't. I didn't think they would get that either. So you have 1 for $10, a total of $140.
Sure. It's up here you carried a gun, right? You cover it.
Naturally, of course.
I always do. Now we're coming to part 4 of the story. Now this time, panel, you'll only have 1 try apiece. But this time I will start you off with the first letter of the missing link. And Joan, this time, $25 for the pluses or the minuses.
From Kenya, we went on many safaris. There we discovered that elephants love to take baths. When they get out of the water, they take trunkfuls of red clay and dust it all over themselves. The story is that this is where the term blank blank originated.
The story is that this is where the term blank blank originated. Now remember, you have 1 try apiece. The missing links begin with the letters P and E. Milt.
Pancake emulsion.
You can come up with the darndest things.
Well,
Damon.
put it all over them, right?
Pancake.
Elephant pancake emulsion. It goes in a...
It's wrong for a minus. Phyllis?
Powdered elephants.
All right, I'm going to give you a minus, but you're awfully close. Elephants is right. Blank elephants. No, it's too late now. It's Chester's turn.
Well, but maybe you don't.
I do.
Do you know?
I do.
Oh, it's too bad.
You want it?
No.
you have any idea? Just
Poor elephants.
poor elephants. No, that's a minus. Color, Philip.
Pink elephant.
Pink elephants, yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I'm not a drinking man, so I don't know.
All right, you have 3 minuses. How did you vote, John? You voted plus.
Oh, you disappointed me.
No, you should have gotten
I thought they were friends.
All right, well, you do have a total of $140, and you certainly have led a very, very interesting life, and we're very happy and proud that you were on our show today as a guest. You're a lovely person. Thank you for coming to Missing Links. Take your $140 and get back to Nairobi. There you go. We'll be back in just one moment to give you a preview of the stories you'll be hearing tomorrow on Missing Links. But right now, Helpful Harry the plumber may be more trouble than he's worth. Let's watch.
I really would like to help. Plumbing finished? Yeah, big job. I might have left the sink a little messy. I'll fix that. Good luck, Calvin.
He fixed the sink all right. Look at it. Even straight liquid bleach won't budge this.
Have you tried new Ajax?
Well, no, not lately.
You've got a surprise coming. This Ajax has been all pepped up. It bleaches, sure. But more important, it's got special built-in scour power.
Scour power?
You betcha. Ajax gets out stains even bleach can't reach.
Hey, that's great.
That's new Ajax. Guess you'd better switch back.
Guess I'd better. Ajax.
Gets out stains.
Well, even bleach can't reach.
Yeah.
The tougher the job, the more you need Ajax, the most powerful name in cleaning.
Tomorrow, we will meet the Ghost Master General of the United States and a very pretty young lady who posed as a bunny in a Playboy club to write an article for a magazine. I'd like to find out what the panel will do supplying the missing links to that story. That'll be tomorrow, and so for then, it's goodbye from Milt Kamen.
Yes, thank you.
Phyllis Newman.
Bye.
Chester Morris. And me, I'm Ed McMahon. We'll see you tomorrow on Missing Links.
Missing Links is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Johnny Olson speaking. This program was pre-recorded.